To be honest, I'm likely to fall flat on my face trying to say anything about Muslims. There are a lot of people in the United States who believe in theological education. Share the Muslims' view that if you abandon your relationship with God, that life ceases to have meaning, ceases to be true, grounded in reality. I don't know, like my experience with people who have contact with the Dalai Lama and with rock stars who think that they're holy has been that once or twice I've tried to reach nirvana and I failed, and I just accept that I'm a 62-year-old man, not going to get to nirvana in this round of existence. Buddhism is very tactful. There's a defect to the idea in American philosophy that you have to believe in God, or you have to believe in one or another gods. But I don't think that Muslim people were much different in that they just associate Islam with their culture, go about their daily lives somewhat um, informed, somewhat uninformed. And I know that there was a lot of excitement at Temple University when Syed Hossein Nasser taught our intellectual heritage class for freshmen, because we learned a great deal about encyclopedias like Avicenna, the notable absence of scholarship about a whole era of development and civilization. It goes unnoted because of the rivalry between Christian society and, for example, the Ottoman Empire, which were relatively stable, peaceful, liberal reign under Suleiman. We live in an era where we've begun to question some of the premises that we've held for centuries. The Pan-Slavic psychology of Eurasia um, is informed by the idea that they are troublemakers and start trouble, which is difficult to penetrate with light. And I've learned from being in college that the Dark Ages ended when Muslims who preserved the Greeks gave them back to the medieval church. Erasmus referred to them in his translation of the New Testament. I have seen with shock and horror what has happened because of the mania for weapons of the successive administrations of Clinton, Bush, and Obama, which were all one conceptual reign of believing in the doctrines of a high command who had influences like Hillary Clinton, who would show up at foreign policy meetings shouting things like "off with their heads," like some kind of um, dangerous queen of Wonderland. It doesn't make any sense, we refusing to negotiate when we get every opportunity to bomb horrified me. And I know that there are every single one of them valuable people. Every single person who's at risk in Afghanistan or Yemen or Syria are valuable people, or Lebanon or Palestine, valuable people. It doesn't take any special courage for me to say that. It's perfectly obvious. I see Muslims in my community, and I know perfectly well that they're fine, decent people, capable of warmth and gratitude, and they're unassuming. They don't look for ways to disparage other people. They look for the best in you. None of them have harmed me in word or in deed. Now, I certainly have questions about the administration of the nation states that have evolved over centuries of war. But that doesn't have anything about it that illustrates cultural learning about the Muslim world. Muslims have traditions, they have social norms, many of which have parallel comity with America, like commensurate ideas about civil law, about marriage, divorce, inheritance, job obligations, permission when it comes to cultural practices. Now, we've boogie monstered Iran through Hollywood for as long as I can remember. For no particularly good reason. I mean, they've had women in their parliament. And we see the women taking to the streets are just as indignant and capable of pride as anybody when it comes to persecution of innocent people in their midst. It's very brave. It's never easy to confront power. I live in a society where my own friends won't even admit that I was tortured. Brutally. It's not played a role in my psychological survival, at least in my 20s and 30s. Something about unifying the spirit as an idea helped me get through the neurological injuries I was suffering from. I have new neurological injuries because of Parkinson's. And people who have tortured me never let up. I don't expect that anybody's going to come from the Muslim community to help me. I just understand the disbelief that people who are in the Muslim community must feel towards the ungenerous things that America is capable of. I do my level best to understand those things, but as I say, I'm liable to just make a fool of myself trying to explain my point of view.